I spent $12,163 on Whiteout Survival. It's day 87. I'm trying to slow my spending down. Let's see what we have today, because there's always something to be spending on. So, first things first, let's get into the standard deals. There's the mix and match still. I do think I'm going to buy fire crystals here. I have another day, but again, you know, I'm going to delay a day, and same with the custom pet chest, because I've got some other spending I noticed to do tonight. I think I'm done with widgets for these gen heroes. I'm going to wait till the next generation, so I'm going to take a pass on that. I am going to take the daily deals because I do like the VIP efficiency here. And of course, going to claim make my claims here, and that's all we have for the standard deals. Now, if we go into I don't think there's anything in events. We are doing the Alliance Showdown, which we're trying, you know, basically we're trying to see if we can win without spending a lot. But I think some people are doing things they shouldn't be, because they shouldn't be putting up these kind of points on the board when we should be saving that for state versus state prep. But, you know, everybody plays their own game, so I guess we're going to have to lose one of the state versus states to learn our lesson. And, you know, we have some other miscellaneous things here that I'll you know, kind of hunt down. If we get into the deals now, you know, already did the weekly benefits. The Hall of Heroes, you know, I did some gem spending yesterday just because I did like that idea. Somebody said, hey, just use the gems, you'll get some gems credit, because there is gems for the Alliance Showdown. So I did that. We'll take the Hero Rally, and I'll continue to grind the Lantern of Blessings. I think I might have enough to see. Yeah, I think I have enough. I'll have to finish doing this, but I think I have enough that I can see how lucky I get tonight. Yeah, I got enough to do that. All right, 10. Well, that's not so great. All right, 2 10s. Nice. Take that. Make those claims. And then I'll have to figure out, I'm probably just going to try to drain the higher value items first, and then I'll go for the fun stuff later. All right, and Deadshot, gonna have to wait until we get some more, because I do like the idea of doing 5 at a time, so that if I do get lucky, you know, I can get a little bit, you know, get 5 times the luck. Unfortunately, on my low spend account, I got 5 times the bad luck also, so that is what it is sometimes. All right, now let's look at some of the things. All right, so first of all, let's look at what's going on here. We've got Frosty Fortune kind of coming towards the end. We got Myriad Bazaar, and we got Snowbusters all at the same time. So that's why I'm not spending on the other stuff right now, because I'm trying to kind of pace myself right now. So I do want to continue to get the Gems of Enigma up to the $5 mark. It's, you know, it's VIP spending. It's efficient VIP spending, number one. And, you know, I am going to do this daily just to take advantage of the free refreshes. Nice. Nothing, so I'm not going to do anything there, because I don't need anything right now. I needed some stuff during SVS, but now I don't need anything, so I'm just trying to, you know, get what I can out of this for now. And this Emporium will be available for one more day. Looks like the Frosty Fortune will not be, so essentially this is the last that I'll get anything. So I might as well, you know, I'll take my claims, I'll do my claims and stuff, but I'm not going to, because I can't play anymore now at this point, I'm not going to get any more Thorns of Enigma. So I think I'm just going to I'm going to grab this because it's, you know, actually, should I? Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal, I think. But what I really need more of, what I know I'm going to need a lot more of, is the fire crystals, but this isn't necessarily the most efficient. It'd be a waste to get the fire crystals here. I already said I'm not doing any more with the widgets in this gen, I don't think. So that leaves me with the materials chests, which I know is a good source. This is a good source of them. So, and then I'll just grab with that last one, I'll just grab a speed up, because these will get converted at the end of the event if you don't use them. So that's Frosty Fortune, and that'll be done tomorrow. Let's take a look at Myriad Bazaar. So what I'm going to do today, I do know that a lot of people say, and when I did my own kind of calculations, Myriad Bazaar is actually a good deal, but it's a different kind of thing. So first of all, I like that it has VIP spend. And that if we look at the fire crystal ratio here, it's 6 per dollar. So that's 6 per dollar that I'm going to get for fire crystals. But the thing is that when I was looking at this more carefully, that's not the only value. Like we tend to look at things in those terms, but look, I'm getting some essence stones here, and I'm getting some gear. So I'm getting some gear and essence stones with it. So yes, it's 6 per dollar here. That's the rate for the fire crystals. But not only am I getting fire crystals, I'm unlocking these additional benefits that are basically for hero gear. So I'm getting some additional stones and some additional gear. So I'm going to buy this up to the $10 mark tonight. And what I need to know from you, if you're watching, and especially the whale spenders who know the value, because it's different for people who are low spend and medium spend, but especially the whale spenders, like, should I go all out on this? Like, I'm trying to pace myself right now. This is a good source. It's hard to find fire crystals in quantity over time. It's a good source of them, but not just for the fire crystals. This is kind of like a mixed thing, I feel like. It's like the value here comes from both the fire crystals and the gears. Because look at this. As we go up now, if I go to the $20 mark, I'll get 20 essence stones and 30 of the chests. And then if I go to the 50, I'll get 300 fire crystals and 60 of the chests plus some essence stones. I don't know. I'm feeling like it's probably worth it to go at least up to the $50 mark. I don't think you get so much less efficient at the $100 mark with the VIP and stuff. But, I feel like at least up to the $50 mark, it's worth kind of sacrificing some of the VIP efficiency. But I'm curious for any of the whale spenders out there who, play this game a bunch, what your advice is for me. How far should I go? Is $10 enough, or should I go to 20 or 50 for this one? So drop me a comment and tell me what you think. I still have a day on this, so that's why I'm asking. Now, and then for Snowbusters. So I've heard mixed things on Snowbusters, but here's the thing. I do like to get, I wouldn't call myself necessarily an island decoration junkie, but if you get to at least Area 16, you can at least get, one more of the Snowbuster Arena levels up. And this is nice to level up because it comes with troops attack. But if you notice on this progression, there are fire crystals all along the way as well. So, and as you go up, some of the fire crystal go up as well. So those are the rewards. And so and it's there's like a lot of drops in Snowbusters. So I feel like it's kind of, the value is hidden here. The only problem, and I'm going to do this, I did this last time, I'm going to do this because this doesn't come with a VIP, which I don't really like. But it does come with, 50 fire crystals. So if you look at this value from the fire crystal alone, that's 50 for $5. That's, basically 10 per dollar. So just for the fire crystal value there alone, that's worth it, even though I'm not getting any VIP with it. And then this one is, basically 7.5 per dollar, but you are getting some additional benefits here as well. So I'm going to grab this as well. And then if you go through this progression, there is additional value being delivered here as well. So there's more fire crystals. So, and like we got 7.5 per dollar, but then I didn't include the 20 that you get here and the 25 you get here and the 30 you get there. So I feel like this is still what I just did is a good value, and Snowbusters will deliver a lot of value. The question will start to become, how far do I want to press up that tree? These ones do come with VIP. So I am going to get these. And again, this does come with some amount of fire crystals. It has some fire crystals in there, and it has VIP. So I'm going to buy this up to the $5 mark just because it gets so much value from the event. And that's where I'm going to stop. And I think that's all I'm going to do. So I think that's all I'm going to do when Snowbusters comes out is do this strategy every time. That is a bunch of spend on, that was like what? Probably 30, I don't do the math in my head quickly, but it's somewhere a little over $30. But the value you get from it, I feel, is like kind of worth it. Both in terms of fire crystals and all the other drops you get along the way with Snowbusters, in addition to the island. So I think that'll be kind of a good use of not only do you get all these, you get these rewards from the daily missions, you get these rewards as you go up, and then as you play Snowbusters itself, you get rewards inside it. Not to mention that as you start unlocking things in the guide, then you will continue to unlock additional benefits here from getting additional map pieces and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, it's a fun event. It's a high value as far as the drops and stuff. So I don't mind spending some money on it. It's kind of fun to do that way. So that's all the spending I have tonight. But let's look at VIP. Actually, I have, okay, there you go. Had to clear that red bubble. Let's look at the VIP here. Let's grab whatever I spent tonight. And there we go. We're getting, inching closer to that VIP 12 every time. Grab the VIP benefits. And we'll get there eventually. It'll take some time, but we'll get there eventually. Now, one last thing I wanted to show is on the presidency tab. I didn't realize this, but apparently, I saw this, but I didn't click it. If you hit the change here, you can change your position perks. Now, I don't like the way this is worded because it makes it sound like you would lose the presidency position, but it says new position perks. You are free to switch to another position with different position perks. There is a 5-minute cooldown after each switch. So, for example, if I needed to do some research, or that's vice president. So where's the education? There's the training speed, minister of health, resource production speed, appointment, troops attack and stuff like that you can use for bear. So I'm going to go to resource production speed. Well, yeah, I think I don't have much construction and other things to do right now, but I'm going to try this out and see what happens. This is the first time ever doing it. I hope it doesn't screw me because it does say there's a 5-minute cooldown, but here we go. You now have the position perks. So basically you're still the president, but you get the position perks of whatever role you want. So if we go in now, if we look into the appointments, it's not like I took somebody's appointment either. It's just that I was able to, take those whichever perks I want for my position. And, so this position is still there, but I'm able to select the perks that I want. So that's how that works. Somebody also asked me about showing how the position, appointments worked. Here's the thing. If you really want to make it easy on yourself, you can appoint a Minister of the Interior permanently and don't put this on auto. This is my recommendation, but I know a lot of you have been playing this game longer than I have. So you see how I don't have this on automatically approved? I told everyone I've given somebody the Minister of Interior position and I'm not giving it to anyone else because they have the power to appoint and remove officials, and they can cause problems and havoc if you don't coordinate with them carefully, especially with punishment and stuff like this. So this person is somebody who I trust to work with and stuff like that, and I'm not going to just give it to anybody else. And it's somebody who's going to be online a lot, and there is a perk that comes with the position, but I need somebody who's going to work with me very carefully, especially with Supreme President. There's 2 states we're dealing with and requests from 2 states. I need somebody who's online a lot, going to work with me a lot, and so this had to be somebody I can work with in that capacity. So that's the Minister of Interior. All the other positions, I've opened it up to both states to share. That's the little checkbox on the bottom. And so when anybody, I don't see if I can find one that has, this one tends to get a lot of applications. So yeah, here, the applications are auto approved. So what'll happen if you don't turn on the auto, there'll be applications in here that you have to manually approve, or the Minister of the Interior can manually approve. That gets to be a pain in the butt. And it's kind of not fair. The whole point is just be fair to your state, or even if you're multi-state and you're trying to be a good sport, let's be fair to them. So this is what you do. You just put it on auto, and then it'll automatically give them a 30-minute slot, and it'll rotate. So they'll get, if you can see, is there one here? So the only reason this person has had the position for a day is because there's been no applications. If there are any applications, they would rotate out instantly and get a 30-minute slot. If you look at the more popular one, this is already in a 3-minute thing. But if you look what happens, you see the times here, 1:58, 2:28, 2:58, 3:28. It's basically 30-minute slots. So you get your 30-minute slot, you do what you need to do, and you rotate it out. And that's how that works. So you shouldn't have to worry about kind of messing up the appointment positions. Now, because I'm president, I can't show you the interface, what it looks like to request an appointment, because I can't request an appointment. I'm gonna, the interface is different for me. And in fact, if I try to create a new reservation, it'll just add them to the end of the list because I have auto appointment on. So that's about all you can do. You can select somebody, you can search for them, select them, and then add them to the appointment if you wanted to manually as well. But normally they just come in here, they apply for the position, and when it's on auto approval, it'll auto rotate. And of course, I showed you yesterday, you can put people on the block list so they won't be able to apply at all. And that's how you can control that. In addition, that auto approval, you can set it to be only your state, or you can allow it on both states. And unless they were particularly, poor sports or something like that, I would recommend just approving it to all. There is one challenge that comes up though for anybody who ends up being Supreme President. The challenge is that I'm trying to be fair and nice to them, but on the same token, we were the winners after all. So, you know, I did tell my Minister of Interior and I told folks in my state that if you need a position, I will manually bump you up to the top of the list because I'm trying to be nice and fair about it. But on the same token, we won the privilege of having the Supreme Presidency, so we deserve the honor and right to be bumped up on the list. So that's the way I'm running it. You can run it the way you want to. Otherwise, what'll happen is people from your own state won't be able to take advantage of it, and we won, so we should get the privilege of doing that. It's kind of like we're trying to be nice and fair about it, but on the same token, or on the other side of that coin, we are the victors, so we deserve a little extra special privilege as well. So that's how that goes. So that's all I have for tonight. Make sure if you like following this journey, if you want to see how my spending goes, if you want to see how my growth goes, if you want to see any more of the gameplay, give me a like, make sure you subscribe, and turn on notifications so whenever I post anything, you'll get a notification about it right away. Thank you very much for joining, and until next time, I'll see you later.